Hey everybody, welcome. Come gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept that it's soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a-changing. Well, hey, welcome you guys to General Chemistry with Distance Learning. Glad you're tuning in, and I hope this video is coming through loud and clear for you. This is just kind of an intro video, you guys, our first lesson, and I'll be kind of letting you know how things will work online, and we'll also do a little bit of a review of stoichiometry because, man, it's been a month, you guys, and you know, if we had stayed in school, you know, the next week of school after we left, I would have given you that stoic test. But, you know, here we are a month later and picking it back up again. So we'll spend a little bit of time reviewing, but let me just go through a few things that we need to deal with how this is going to work. Okay, so things are changing. Oh, let me move myself here. Things are changing, you guys. Just so you know, unless you have internet issues, and if you do, please let me know, all content and assignments will be delivered through Google Classroom. So I guess I'm kind of assuming this, if you're watching this video, that you basically are able to get on the internet. Okay, so yeah, the Willamette Promise credit is still available. We got to do this, you guys. Here's what we got to do that. We've got 2 tests we need to take. That's the Unit 6.1 that I was just talking about. And then we got to go over Unit 7, which is about solutions. And that is also kind of a final. And I'll talk to you more here in just a sec about how those tests will be delivered. There'll also be some kind of environmental chemistry project. And then there'll be some virtual labs that we need to do. Here's the deal, you guys. Just a couple of nuts and bolts kind of things. Besides having access to these videos and assignments, and stuff like that through the Google Classroom, my office hours are 10 to 11 o'clock and 2 to 3 o'clock. So those would be times when I am totally available. If you email me between those times, I will probably get back to you within 10 to 15 minutes. If you call me, we'll hopefully be setting up a system where you can call me. I can get back to you, and I will have my phone available to answer right away. And then also I can do this too. I can schedule Zoom meetings. So if there's like 2 or 3 of you, or 10 or 15 or 20 of you that are like, dude, we need some help with this, I would be happy to schedule a Zoom meeting and send out a link to you guys, and we can all get on and talk face to face, at least as face to face as we can get these days. All right, the tests. So here's the deal with the tests, you guys. We are going to deliver the tests on what are called the Socrative application. You don't have to download that on your phone. Some of you may have done that already, because I think there are a few teachers at the high school that actually use that app. Okay, you don't need to download it, but it'll be web-based tests. They will be on a scheduled day and time. So like I will say, hey, the test is this week, you guys, on Thursday from 2 to 3:15. And you need to be able to take the test then. If you miss that testing window, we've got issues, okay? There'll be a time limit on the test. And the reason is that, you guys, that is to try and limit cheating, okay? So you can't just look up every answer on the internet, okay? Not to encourage you to do that, but that's the point there. There will be multiple choice tests, all right? So all of them are multiple choice. I will give you more details as we get down the road. All right. You may not have your chemistry stuff at home. Your notebook might be sitting in your locker or something like that. So if you need your periodic tables and stuff, I have these posted on the Google Classroom. So get those, and you'll be able to maybe bring those up as a window on your computer or whatever. Hopefully, if you have access to a printer, you can print them out. I can work on finding a way to get you a copy of them too if you need. Okay, cool. Well, let's just talk a little bit about stoichiometry, you guys, and figure out how much you remember. All right, so here's a chemical reaction right here. Okay, this is kind of the chemical reaction we'll just focus on for this short lesson. Okay, so here's a couple of simple stoich questions, right? How many moles of this right here, the calcium phosphate, produced when you have 3.5 moles of calcium chloride? Well, if you remember, guys, right, here's a setup for it. Okay, check it out. I start with what I'm given, all right, 3.5 moles of this calcium chloride. I use my mole to mole ratio because that's all I'm doing here, right? I'm doing this. Oops, hold on. I'm doing this. I want moles of this and I have moles of this, right? So I don't need to worry about molar masses right now. So I just use my moles ratio, right? 3 to 1. And then I do the math, right? I got 1.7. Just to kind of take it another way, right? So this is where we're going from reactants to products, right? We can also do this too. We can say, hey, how many moles of the potassium phosphate are needed to react with 4.2 moles of calcium chloride? Okay, so you don't have to go from one side to the other. We can do any mole ratio, right? Remember that? So here's our setup, right? Start with what I'm given. Okay, start with what I'm given, use my moles to moles ratio, do the math. If you notice, right, what I start with goes on the bottom, what I end up with goes on top, okay, and we get our answer. All right, that's just a quick review of that. Feel free to rewind and pause this if you need. There we go. All right, you guys remember molar mass? Okay, just a quick reminder and tutorial on that if you need it. Here's molar mass. So if I need the molar mass of calcium chloride, right, I've got the mass of calcium, which is right here. Okay, I've got one of those. I added up with 2 chlorines. Ooh, there's a typo there. Man, way to go, Flugum. Okay, this should be 35, I believe, 0.453. Okay, and that adds up. Now I know this is correct because I've done this a number of times. 110.984, okay, is the correct molar mass for that. All right, and then we've got this one here, a little bit more complex, calcium phosphate. Okay, so we've got 3 calciums, that's right here. Okay, we've got 2 phosphates. Remember, the little exponent outside multiplies anything inside of it. And then we've got 2 times 4, that's 8 oxygens, that's right here. Add them all together, okay, we get 310.174. That is the amount of grams of those substances in 1 mole of that substance. So that's going to be really important as we move into stoichiometry here. Okay. All right, so we got to practice stoich problem here, you guys. Okay, so I've got this right here, 2.87 grams of calcium chloride. Okay, we got excess potassium phosphate. Remember, whenever you see excess, just ignore it. Okay, how many grams of calcium phosphate are produced? Okay, so I'm going to blow up my screen here. Let's see. Yeah, there I am. Hey, what's up, you guys? So I'm going to set this up. All right, and I set it up right here on my handy dandy whiteboard that I brought home with me. Okay, there's the reaction at the top. If you notice, I started right here with the given grams, and then I did 1 mole and the grams in 1 mole, the molar mass on the bottom. Then the middle conversion, remember this is our moles to moles ratio, right? Moles to moles ratio, 1 mole of that to 3 moles of calcium chloride, and I can see that up here in the reaction, right? 3 moles of calcium chloride to 1 mole of potassium phosphate. Okay, and then last but not least, because we want to know grams of potassium phosphate, I get, I put 1 mole, right? 1 mole, and then the 310.174, my molar mass. Now, when I do all of that, I get the answer of 2.67 grams of the potassium phosphate, Ca3PO4 2. And that is my answer, folks. There it is. Okay, and that is my answer. Okay, and I did proper number of sig figs, 3 sig figs, because that's what I started with. There's my cursor. There it is. All right. So shrink myself back down here. All right. This is an example of a stoic problem we got to be able to do. On Wednesday, I'll be putting out another lesson, you guys, that'll kind of go over some more review things. And you should have this, right? Just assignment and test review. Here's the deal. Okay. For today, with this lesson, there's an assignment on Google Classroom that has 2 stoic problems. Okay. It's a Google form. And when you fill it out, put your numbers only. Got that? All right. Put your numbers only because it'll grade it for you, for me. Okay. Don't put any label with it because that confuses. Computers are actually really dumb and highly literal. So just put your number only for the answer when you do the stoic question, and it'll let me know if you're getting it right or not. Okay. And then we've got this, right? Unit 6 exam practice. That's yellow. You should have gotten that before you left. If you don't have it, there's a copy on Google Classroom. And then don't forget this. If you have questions or problems, my office hours are right there, 10 to 11 and 2 to 3 o'clock. Cool, you guys. Check out the assignment on the Google Classroom. It's posted and ready to go for you. Okay. And that'll give me some feedback on how you're doing. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Peace out, and I will see you soon.